All right, hello everybody. Today we are talking about aerobic versus anaerobic exercises and what the difference is. Maybe you've heard those words before, maybe you haven't, but you're going to learn what it is here in the next couple minutes. So, what's the difference? Aerobic exercise versus anaerobic exercise. Maybe you've heard of people doing aerobics before. So, there are terms that are used to describe how your cells within the body produce energy, and it relates to energy systems. So, it's super sciencey. But if we break it down, if you're doing an aerobic exercise, you are going to be using a lot of air, and it's usually something that's going to last more than 2 minutes. All right, an anaerobic exercise is something that you think about using like without a lot of air, and your body doesn't really have time to replenish itself, and it is just full out sprint. And you can really only do those types of exercises for less than 2 minutes. So, for example, we've got our aerobic exercise here. So on average, you're going to be 60 to 80% of your max heart rate. Okay, so we're going between like green and orange here. This can be done for a long amount of time. It's good for building endurance, improves your cardiovascular and respiratory functions, which is your heart and your lungs. And if you were thinking about your talk test, you can hold a conversation for a long time. Okay, so these types of exercises would be going on a walk, jogging. So if you think about somebody going out on a 5-mile run, nice and slow pace. They can keep it for a long time. They can talk a while. Okay, that's aerobic. Biking, swimming, rowing. Some people just hop on the rower at the gym and can just do that. Cross-country skiing, using the elliptical, stair climber. Really anything where you think it's like a cardio exercise to burn those extra calories. Okay, that's going to be your aerobic exercise. So if we switch over to anaerobic, this is something that is like your red zone, top of your orange zone, red zone, 80 to 90% of your max heart rate. Your body needs immediate energy from the cells within your body. Okay, so some super sciencey things, but there's two different systems that can be used. So one system's used if you're doing something from 0 to 10 seconds. So if you think of like sprinters in the Olympics that are doing the 100-meter dash, okay, they are using one system because they're just going from 0 to 10 seconds. Somebody who's going from like 10 to 120 seconds, so maybe somebody who's running the 800, that's going to take a little bit longer. They're using a little bit different system, but they're still not using oxygen like you would as if you're doing an aerobic exercise. Okay, when we stay in this anaerobic exercise, we burn more fat and we build more muscle. Okay, more than just staying at that steady state cardio, which, as you guys know, we're trying to get out of doing that. That's why we use the heart rate monitors. That's why we try to get in and out of different zones. So we do our HIIT workouts, some heavy lifting, some plyometrics, so jump squats, box jumps, lunge jumps, that kind of stuff, sprinting. So you notice how we'll go on the track and then we'll say red for a certain amount of minutes. Okay, so it's usually just 1 minute because you should be in that anaerobic zone using those different systems within your body. So it's sprinting, something you can't do for a long period of time. So what's the point? Okay, which one's best? It just depends on your goals. Okay, so if this is your first time doing fitness, you probably want to build up your anaerobic exercise first. Okay, so you want to be able to go out and jog for 20 minutes or go on a bike ride for an hour before we start sprinting and before we start doing heavy lifting and box jumps and that kind of stuff. Okay, if you're in pretty good shape and you're trying to maybe get a little bit more lean, burn some fat, okay, anaerobic exercise is good for you. So that's like what this class is, right? Getting in and out of heart rate zones. It depends on how much time you have too. Okay, so you notice in class, we can get a pretty good workout in like 20 minutes. You're going to burn way more calories. It's going to be better for you if you do something anaerobic versus just going on the elliptical for 20 minutes at the same rate. And it depends on equipment available too. Okay, so if you have those types of things to do an aerobic exercise, okay, that's a good alternative. If you don't have heavy weights or something like that, or some place to sprint or to get on a bike and sprint, okay, well then maybe you can't do it. But it just depends what your goals are. And that is that for anaerobic and aerobic exercise. There you go.